So here we are again at Dick Lovett Motorrad on a beautiful Saturday, and I'm taking this out, this 900R. This bike stands at about £12,000 and apparently it's very well spec'd, equivalent to a TE if you were in the GS world. Now Steve keeps telling me that when I bought my Monster I should have bought this, because this is a better bike. Let's take it out and see if he's right, see if I made a mistake. Let's get out there. Just a quick stop really before I find somewhere to park up and have a walk around. This bike is like when you were back at school and the average looking plain Jane girl, which nobody paid attention to, came dressed up for the prom, being prettier than everybody. Yeah, I'm impressed. Anyway, let's find somewhere to park up.
Thank you so much.
It's all right.
Thank you. Yeah, and for switching your engine off as well.
No worries. A little bit of courtesy goes a long way. Oh. Right, so out today on the BMW F900R, which is a bike up until now I couldn't have been interested in it less, but it's quite a surprise package. So I mentioned before I left that Steve had said to me that I bought the wrong bike when I bought my Ducati Monster, and I thought he was full of shit. But I have to say, I think he was right. So the challenge I have with this bike is it's a bit uninspiring to look at, but the engine is remarkably responsive and smooth as you like. There's no lumpiness down low, which my Ducati has. The steering is really positive, with just enough resistance to feel like you're riding a bike. My Ducati feels like it wants to caster. I will say it would benefit from a nice exhaust, although it's not a bad sound by any stretch of imagination. It was comfortable. I was surprised when I first sat on it. I felt the seat was hard, but once your legs are up into a riding position, it's a very comfortable little bike. The quick shift, although I think all quick shifts are mostly pointless, that quick shift is very, very good. Very, very smooth. The dash and the switch gear are the same of all the BMWs, so relatively simple to get to grips with. On the subject of grips, it's interesting how this has got 3 positions of warmth for the heated grips, whereas my old GS only had 2, so it was either cold or burn your hands off. So it's nice that they've gone to 3. But all in all, this is a better bike than a Ducati, which I didn't expect it to be. Yeah, the Ducati, you have to ride it in a way where you're purposefully riding it. This just wants to go. I know they're doing crazy deals on this. I think this is like at 0% APR at the moment. 12 grand bike, 0%, the bike this good. If you're looking for finance on a bike, I can't see how you could not get this. Wouldn't go for the red myself, although ironic that I have a Ducati in black and the BMW that's red is a better bike. That's quite interesting. But interestingly, I took the F900XR out. A friend of mine bought one, and I didn't find it to ride like this. Now, my Ducati's got 3,000 miles on it, and I bought it at 900. So we could say some of my understanding of how it ride was its newness. This is sat at about 2,000 miles, and it is smooth as you like. A really cracking little bike, just uninspiring to look at. So if I had that bike there and my Ducati there, would I buy that one? You know what, I think I would. Now, when I went to get a second bike, I didn't mean to buy a second bike, as I've discussed before. And I didn't even consider this option. I was, I think, frankly speaking, too arrogant in my own bike knowledge or wanting to ride something that I didn't even consider this. And that was a big mistake. This is a cracking little bike. And it's funny that I say little bike. It's a 900cc bike, yet somehow we live in a world where 900s have become small. But yeah, let's continue taking it for a bit of a spin. Hopefully get some riding footage. But yeah, really good bike. And I know every time I take a bike out, I wax lyrical about it. I'm not getting paid by these buggers. When it's good, right? So let's get back out there. So I nearly forgot there, before I ride off, I'll just show you the seat height to see what it's like. So again, I'm 5'8" with a 29-inch inseam. The bike is leaning quite far over at the moment, so this is quite representative of real life. I've just stopped here before I forget to say just something I'm thinking before I get and do the sum up. I'm riding this bike and I haven't considered its brake horsepower, its torque, because I don't need to. It just rides so well. The only thing I would change for me personally is I'd put some risers on it. But this is a staggering little package. Anyway, back to the dealership. Here we are back. That's a nice 1290S? 1260S? Can't read it. Anyway, let's sum up. So, back at the dealership, and as always with Dick Lovett, you come for the bikes, stay for the pop. I wish they did Coke Zero though. Anyway. So the F900R, what do I think? It's the most BMW in the history of BMWs. It is a 3 Series saloon. It's such a great little bike. It's unassuming, it's not blary. Everything feels good, everything feels tight, everything's feel purposeful. It's not expensive. If you bought one second hand from a dealer, the main dealer, you get 2 years warranty. It's on 0% finance right now for new. I don't know what there is not to like. No, it's not a Prius. But everything else is such a good little package. If I was looking for my first big bike, that's what I'd get. That's what I'd get. The size isn't intimidating, the weight isn't intimidating, it works well for short riders, it's got all the functionality and toys you might ever want. and it gets you into a brand which produces great bikes across the range, apart from, of course, the R18. And it's better than my Ducati Monster. Is it as pretty? No, but it is better. So do we buy with our brains or do we buy with our hearts? I think when we're on a bike every day, if you're using it for a lot of miles, I think you have to buy with your brain. I'm lucky that my Monster is a second bike and I use it very rarely now. But if it was my only bike, the F900R is the bike I'd go for. Anyway, if you could hit like, comment, and or subscribe, that'd be appreciated.